Okay, so why does it only count down to 9 now? I don't understand. All right. Well, hey everybody. We are live here on on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting, as it is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020, and it is the Veto episode for this final 4 week here in Big Brother. It is week 11 in the house. And we saw the power of veto competition tonight as it is the most important thing, of course, in this final four scenario in this very traditional Big Brother game. I'm Dave Mater, joined with my brother Jeff Mater, our co-host Jameel Robinson, off tonight to pursue some other ventures. So he will be back tomorrow. I will be out tomorrow to cover Star Trek Discovery, but Jeff's here for it all. So Jeff, we're here to cover this episode. What a night! Cody continues to cement his legacy as one of the great Big Brother players of all time, socially, physically. He was bred for this. He was bred for this.
Cody has never ever had to really deal with adversity in a Big Brother house. He's never been on the block really where he was in any danger of going home, even in his first season.
Definitely not in this season.
Yeah, he's always been in a position of safety, and when you play from there, you could say that that's a good player. That to me does not define a good player. To me, what defines a good player is somebody who can maneuver throughout the house no matter who's in the house, And did Cody do that both times? You could say that, yes. But at the same time, the way he does it is so not flat. It's so not unflashy and just boring that you kind of just go like, well, yeah, is he good at Big Brother? Sure. But is he fun to watch play Big Brother? Not at all, really. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say that is accurate. Jeff, if we were going to use a sports metaphor here to describe Cody, I don't know. What's the most accessible sport? Let's just say hockey. Let's just stick with hockey because it's the one I think I'll be able to understand the best. If you had to describe Cody as a hockey player, compared to his Big Brother play, like effective but boring, is that something that would be
Cody would be like the Patrice Bergeron of Big Brother players,
right? Okay, good. Okay, so Patrice Bergeron from the Boston Bruins, a player who is not, if you don't watch hockey, he's a good player, solid, gets to be on Team Canada, but not quite a flashy player, not a household name. I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say he's a superstar, but he is at hockey, and does it in a non-flashy way. A very defensively oriented forward, that's kind of like Cody. He's a defensively oriented Big Brother strategy player. I mean, he doesn't play. He just hopes everything kind of goes his way in the competitions in the end game, and right now they are. So he's looking great.
Right. Yeah. Most of his testimonials are just like, I hope this holds together. I hope I'm able to make it through. He's almost at the end. That's basically what his confessionals all are to me. Yeah. And is Patrice Bergeron, his hockey allegory here, a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Patrice Bergeron. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So is Cody Calafiore Big Brother Hall of Fame material if there was such a thing?
Yeah, if he wins, I think he probably would be, but not if he doesn't win. I don't know. Like, is he a great? I don't know. Like, yeah, I'd like to see Cody play against players that are better than him. Like I'd like to see him play against the Derricks and the Dans and the Dr. Will if he ever came back or whoever. So all the players.
Franzels.
No, not so much her. But like even Paul would have been cool to see it go against a Cody because they're both so similar in the way they play. They probably would not ally with each other,
Well, yeah, and there was that whole history with Paul and Paulie Calafiore as well.
Right.
Yeah. So some interesting things here with Cody. I think there's a lot to unpack tonight. First of all, this veto competition. Wait, what was the competition with? Oh, to win. First, we had the competition for the $10,000, right? With the comic,
which was fun. Can we have
fun?
I mean, yeah, Amanda and I both loved it.
Okay, I was losing my mind.
Why did you
not enjoying that segment?
Why did you not like that segment?
That whole segment was like it was a predetermined winner, right? It was just you were watching this thing play out in terms of
Correct.
who. So why did Nicole win?
Because she picked Memphis.
Did she? So there was something
Memphis
she
was
did that won, right?
Memphis was gonna win the
No matter what.
cartoon thing no matter what.
So whoever
Every
took that card.
yeah, it was that no, but like Christmas said, she could have picked Memphis. That she could have had Memphis on her team, but she didn't pick him, and now she's missing him, and she's best friend, and she's gonna go home, and she could have got $10,000. Would have softened the blow a little bit, but then Nicole gets it anyway. Nothing's turning up Christmas, Dave.
Nothing's turning up Christmas. This was a somber episode for Christmas, except for the moment in the $10,000 competition where she was very intense tonight, Jeff, as she often is. And
it was it was the 7 days of Christmas, but they were all sad.
It was on the 7th day of Christmas. Christmas cried again, and it went on. Yeah, so she's kind of a little disillusioned here because she feels like she's been loyal to the team, to the alliance. She was the party whip we talked about Christmas. She was the true believer in this whole scenario. But now she believed that she was at least going to be final 3, if not a final 2 solution for many of them, and she is not. She's realized that she is going out here 4th place is kind of unceremonious, right? You know, you're kind of you went out at 4th. Wah wah wah. You know, it's that's a downgrade considering she's so competitive. She finished 3rd in her first appearance. Now she'll be 4th, so she didn't do better. I'm sure the emotional connections of leaving her family and her son are definitely weighing on her, but she's definitely pining for Memphis in a big bad way. Her best friend in the house, Jeff. I had no idea that the show hadn't presented this as they were the best friends in the house together.
Right. They were, ride or die, sort of. I don't know.
Did they feel this way about Christmas?
I don't know. Like I mean, the show is so like they're doing a very confusing job explaining relationships like that to us, and I just don't think we really know, like, because we don't see it, you know. So like, we could guess, but I don't know.
Well, we can look at what's going on in the live feeds, but Jeff, we're coming at this from more of a casual TV point of view and trying to analyze what is CBS trying to tell us at least is going on in this house. I'm kind of staying away. I get the spoilers and stuff, but mostly I'm not following the ins and outs, the intricacies of the hour by hour. Although I have done that in past seasons, this year I'm not, because I'm trying to understand what is this show trying to sell to me in terms of, especially with what has been inevitable here with this Cody and Nicole and maybe Enzo final 2 or 3 here. You know, we'll see how this plays out. I feel like we're getting to this Cody Nicole final 2, and I'm like, why is that what CBS and Grodner and the production think that's what we wanted? Because that's like, how could it not be this when you have like these pre-existing game relationships, and we've seen how this has turned into pretty stale gameplay, because you have these players like Cody and Nicole who are going to be solid with each other. They know each other intricately, and they played together before, and they're going to be methodical in how they play it out. Why would they think that's going to be entertaining?
I don't think they cared. I think they just wanted to put a season of Big Brother together. They were like, who can we get to come that are all stars and that want to play? And for the most part, they got these players. There a few players that would have played. Like, was Dan really going to play? I don't know. If he was, and he didn't, that sucks. That we didn't get to see Dan play again. We didn't get to see if Derek was.
You're breaking up, or I've broken up.
Sorry, I think Derek kind of would have sucked to come back, personally. But like certain players, like, I don't know, if you're gonna do all stars, like, yeah, like, I don't just, you gotta have some entertaining, wacky people. You can't have all game bots, you know. And I think they had a few too many game bots.
Too many Patrice Bergerons.
Too many Patrice Bergerons, not enough Sidney Crosbys.
Where are the Sidney Crosbys? Where are the Malkins even?
We only had like maybe one, and that was Janelle. I mean, Janelle and maybe Ian. those two people coming back were big gets, I would say. But the rest of them, Kaser a bit.
Right, but
I,
not with this group. It's almost having a better understanding of who these people are after they've played, not who they were before you first cast them, not
Mhm.
who they are now, how they relate to each other, because there's these connections with the challenge, and some of them have been on Survivor, and they're just in the world of reality TV and CBS, and
Sure.
that there's just a ton of interpersonal connections that are understood and not understood on in terms of how they relate with each other. And so but here with Cody and Nicole, I don't think that this is a secret. You're gonna put these two in the house. It's like I feel like they just production over the in many years has made irresponsible casting decisions. I think in Big Brother 19 in particular, throwing Paul into that cast is the only returning player, and the rest of them knew. And then Paul, he became the god, and
Mm.
it was a perfect storm
He
because you also have
Boston robbed.
Christmas.
He Boston robbed the
He
season.
Boston robbed the season. Yeah, it was a boss. It was like, yeah, it was the redemption island of Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then he loses though to Josh Martinez. So
Well,
it's
Josh won the final, HOH. He chose to take Paul too. He could have
oh yeah,
taken
Josh
Christmas.
earned it, but it was supposed to be Paul's, like he was supposed to be the anointed one, and
Do
he
you think?
lost it for himself.
But Josh could have axed Paul and taken Christmas. He might have lost.
Right. Kesar was a big deal for Mary.
Right. I think he was a big deal for a few. There was a few players that I think were good gets. Enzo, I also think was a good get. I do. I think he's very entertaining, but I think he got so bored and he ran out of stories. Yeah, Derek would have been great to have played, and Dan would have been great too. And like, I would have loved to have seen Dr. Will play again, or Boogie, or I know, but that's not gonna happen because those two had a thing. Um, so like, there's a whole bunch of players, like kind of like when they did the Survivor Winners at War season, where it was like, how do you not have Richard Hatch? Like how do you not
Right.
have him on the season? He was the first winner, and they didn't have him on there, but it was still a good season. But I think it would have been a little bit better had they had a Richard Hatch. It's kind of the same thing here with this new All Stars. I don't think Nicole needed to come back. I think she just recently won. I don't think Josh Martinez needed to come back. He had just recently won too. I don't think they needed necessarily winners.
Well, I don't like the mixture. I think if you're going to bring back all winners, or bring back no former winners and bring only second and third place players or something like that. And,
Mm-hmm. But like Rachel Riley was going to play this season, but she couldn't because she was pregnant. And then
she's a winner, right?
Yeah, she's a winner, but she had a plan. Like, she had pitched the idea that she was in the house with Alyssa, and they were like the brothers, but only one person could do the competitions. Like Alyssa would do the competitions. But they didn't. They turned her down on that one. But she would still be in the house pregnant, and they're like, "Yeah, how about this?"
No, it's not worth it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it wasn't the right cast. I think they, with the pandemic going on, I feel like they think that they were going for mostly reliable people, and I think that's what they got. Maybe not Tyler. I think he ended up being the loose cannon somehow. But yeah, the rest of them, you can count on them to do their jury duty, do their stuff, whatever, run on their hamster wheels, whatever the hell they want you to do. Do you have any sense of what Jeff happened with Boogie and Dr. Will? Why?
Yeah. Dr. Will put a restraining order against Boogie for some reason, and it had something to do with Instagram or Twitter or something was said, and then Boogie went nuts and I don't know, like flipped out, and like he got charged with something. I believe Boogie did. He got charged with some sort of assault or aggravated assault or something like that. I'm pretty sure. And so Dr. Will filed a restraining order or something against him. So there's a whole divide between those two. I don't think Chilltown is chill. anymore.
Yeah, they're chilled. They're a little chilled out. That was the name of their alliance.
Yeah, Chilltown.
Chilltown. I got you.
Chilltown is not so chill anymore. It's Hot Town.
Now it's Hot Town. It's hot, a little hot there in Chilltown.
That'd be a good alliance name, Hot Town.
If I ever played Big Brother, I'm like, I want to make an alliance with you. And they're like, what do you want to call it? I'm like, Hot Town.
Hot Town.
Hot Town.
Hot Town. And you got to do.
I cooked it
you
up
gotta,
years ago.
in the diary room. You got to bring the other person in from Hot Town and go bring bring, and you got to do like phone calls with each other.
Yeah, hot takes. They were talking about it on live feeds, but then it was cut off.
Yeah,
fast.
Janelle was talking about it because like I think Cody or somebody was asking Janelle whether or not she talks to Boogie or talks to Dr. Will, and she's like, "No, I've just avoided it because they have a whole thing going on right now." It's like-
Dr. Will was on this season.
yeah.
He was a neighbor, but he never got anywhere near them.
You can look it up. There's a whole story on it. Yeah, the Boogie got arrested or something. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
for something with Dr. Will. Like he went like crazy and like I don't know if he like bashed his door in. I don't know what he did, but probably should be talking about it because I don't really know all the facts, but I do know that there was a whole thing between those two.
Seemingly unprovoked, the former bar owner started sending Kirby, that's Dr. Will, threatening emails a little over a year later that included pictures of a gun pointed at a screen displaying photos of Kirby's 9-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
The physician believed he and his family were in danger and immediately went to the LA police and the FBI. Then they sent Kirby's brother and mother-in-law seemingly similar disturbing messages. So the physician continued to inform the authorities of the threats, and he hid his family out of fear. After the messages went on for 3 days, they arrested him for felony criminal threats.
I was right.
They fill out a restraining order and a $50,000 bond. There was a court date that was supposed to happen in July of 2020, but I don't know if it's happened. So I don't think they're buds right now.
No, they're not. And so much so that legally they don't want to be buds. And so could you imagine?
Now, I know the legend of Boogie and Dr. Will, Jeff, but I never watched that season. I don't know.
Well, they played 2 seasons together.
2 seasons, and they were a strong pair each time.
Well, Boogie went out early in season 2, but like he was still with Dr. Will, and they still did the bring Chilltown stuff. But they really amped it up in All Stars, and they
what, season 7.
Season 7, yeah.
And who won that?
That was Boogie won All Stars.
He won the All Stars. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Will came like 4th. He went out here at this point.
Okay.
Because he was with Janelle and I think someone named Nicole, I think, or I forget. But Boogie sat beside the other girl at the end, not Janelle, and won.
So knowing him as you do, Boogie, would you say he's mentally unhinged?
I didn't think so. I thought he was kind of like a normal guy or whatever. Like he seemed like a bar owner, which I can understand. Like especially during COVID, yeah, I'm sure he's probably like losing money like crazy. Maybe he just went nuts or something. Maybe he's stressing money. I don't know. Like I don't know the guy. He seems like it was a good TV character. I mean, he played 3 seasons of Big Brother, so they obviously liked him and they brought him back. And Dr. Will and him were like best buds. So it's kind of like it's crazy that it's got to this point.
Do you think that Dr. Will moved in next door to the Big Brother house because that's part of his witness protection program against Boogie?
And that's also why he looks like a human mannequin.
What's going on in the host? Jamil, are you there?
Is Jamil here?
I don't know. He says he sent a message saying he can't come on.
But
if he can't come, can't watch via YouTube.
Oh,
It says we're live on YouTube.
Is that working? Maybe. I don't know.
I can try it. I can. His feed is here. but I can't do anything with it. See?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll pretend he's here. Jamil,
Jamil,
what
what
did
did
you?
you think of Cody's eyebrows getting waxed?
Mm-hmm. Did that look painful, or was it? Uh, was he being a baby?
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
We'll spice in his opinion later.
Yeah, yeah. He said he liked it. He said it was good
Yeah.
for Cody's image.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Going, but
Christmas
it
was
would.
taking out that torture on him, Dave. She was taking that frustration out on Cody's eyebrows.
Yeah, was that sadistic or was that too? He
I
seemed
wouldn't.
pretty
I,
pleased with the result. He was a little vain there. I thought.
I wouldn't trust that woman to do that to me.
Yeah, well, I guess is this just boredom? Is he just succumbed to boredom and he will do whatever he has to get through these hours and
Right.
these three people he must spend all of his time with?
Right. And he can't flirt, so he has to get along.
He has to
Yeah.
just get along. He can't because we know the original Cody would have been cuddling it up, even
Right.
with Enzo, perhaps. But definitely with the
Well, Zach Rance definitely would have been.
Zach Rance, yeah, for sure. At this point, especially in Final Four. Yeah, like I think it would have been it was something else with Cody and these eyebrows and just like him. I just don't want to hear him whine. I like that's all. Don't complain about how this is hard for you. I just don't. That's all I want now from Cody. Just be like, I think I got it in my sights. I'm gonna win. That's it. That's how Nicole's playing her DRs, which is at least better.
Nicole at the end of the episode tonight, Dave, was, I don't know, it was pitiful is the only word I could use. The fact that she lost the veto and she was so upset. She was like, I don't know, I might be going home. And I'm just thinking to myself, she knows she's not going home. She's just mad because it was one word.
She said a chance she could. That's what she's.
Yeah, but she was like making it sound like it was like a good chance she was going home, which I don't think it is. And Cody's definitely gonna get Christmas out. He hates Christmas. He doesn't want her around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Enzo, what did you make of Enzo's plan that he actually wants Nicole out secretly, but he would never say so?
He's just saying that, yo. That's it.
Saying that, yo.
That's it, yo. Like, I think he's just saying that in the DR. I don't think he really believes that, yo.
What about that little speech tonight where he was like looking down at Christmas, eating the sandwich and drinking the coffee? Was that genuine?
I was confused when he was doing that. So was he looked like he was just looking in the mirror. But was he actually looking through a window at her, or was he looking at a screen that's in the mirror that we can't see on the feed or whatever? I don't really understand. But yes, maybe Enzo was watching her through the screen. I don't know. I don't know. That's it, yo.
That's it, yo.
That's it.
Question here. Was Cody the one that was always rubbing on the married girl on his season? Can't think of her name. Her name was Christine.
Christine Brecht.
Brecht? I don't know if it was a hard T or not.
It was a Brecht.
I remember Christine. She had glasses. She was the barista from Arizona on BB16, and which is a season I remember quite well. And yeah, she was the one who got booed on the way out in that season for a lack of fidelity. I feel like people objected to her being physical. Yeah. Cody was single, ready to mingle, and he did this cuddling with lots of girls. And I think for him, it's sort of platonic, maybe in a Cody way, but it's, yeah.
She wasn't banging him. So
no. So I thought it was harsh. She was the one who was best friends with Nicole Franzel during that season but I think she turned on Nicole at some point. She's like, no, Nicole's a snake. She was the first one to call Nicole the snake.
She was. I would have loved Christine Brecht to have come back here in All Stars, or Zach Rance, or some of those other players from BB16. Devin, bring back Devin
and Zach Rance
and Pow Pow, and just have it all over again.
There was some, but not Jocasta.
Not Jocasta. No, no, we don't need Jocasta back.
We don't need Jocasta back, and we don't. Beast Mode Cowboy. Would you want to see him again?
No.
Frankie.
No. Frankie, I would like to see. I would have liked to see him on this All Stars. That would have been good.
I've had my fill of Frankie between
I've had
this
my
and
fill of
Candy
Frankie too.
Crush and other things.
I've had my fill of him, but I think he would have made for good content. He's a big character. He's a big personality, and he would have provided a lot of content. I think.
Yeah, and again, I'm sticking by my new thesis, which is that Big Brother's best with not returning players, first time players, a good mix of recruits and fans. I think is the proper mix because recruits who don't like get some get some Davids in there and a few of those kind of players who don't know what the hell's going on. They just want to be on TV or whatever. And then get like some like legitimate gamer type of people who are just like want to play because they think they'd be good at it, like the Peter Browns of the world. Get like those kinds of characters, people who will be good TV, but they're not like going to be boring to watch, and they're
I
going to
need
play.
good narrators, and I need good um, people who are going to stir things up in the house and then narrate it back to me, the audience, and make it compelling. That's what I want.
Feels like it's hard to cast those kinds of people now, or at least
It
Big
is.
Brother
They're,
has casted those people.
they're unicorns. They only come around every now and again. It seems like in Survivor or Big Brother, or even like I guess Amazing Race or whatever.
I feel like you get them more in Survivor because I feel like Survivor has a higher standard in terms of what they're demanding out of their like what do they call them? Their confessionals, right? In Survivor.
Right, but like, remember that season where that guy like Tommy won like a couple of years ago or a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And like, I couldn't tell you anybody else on that season. Like there's the characters don't stand out as much.
Right. I feel like in terms of who Survivor casts, Survivor tries to appeal more to. I think they try to cast more relatable people in Survivor, even though they are definitely like a lot of them are like Instagram models and more like professional celebrities or some kind of thing like that. Social media influencers and whatever. But some of them, yeah, I find like Survivor tends to kind of go for more of these sort of everyday people. At least they used to more like the Cerise, who are like just get off the couch and get there and go, right? Versus a supermodel or whoever they think they can get on their show, so they can go for a prettier cast. So but Big Brother, I feel like I don't know, like that was kind of the mix when I came in, right? I kind of like the mix in BB 15 in particular, with people who want to play. Like you got the McRaes, you got the Howies, you got the Spencers, the Knicks, and these kinds of players. But then you also have some dummies like I forget his name, like the
Judd.
Judd and the big guy who yelled at Helen for the wine. I forget his name. Jeremy. And these players.
Oh yeah, he went out early. Jeremy.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like I'm not endorsing what Aaron did, but just the fact that she was a scumbag and she was part of that cast and she was like the leader of the Mean Girls. There was a dynamic to that house, right? And I think that's you want them, like you got a Zuckerman in there and you throw a Jesse Kowalski. That's the kind of like explosive mix of sort of just crazy people you need. You need more crazy people, Jeff. That's what I think.
They used to know how to do it, and then Aaron went and flipped a bed and ruined it for everybody. I blame Aaron Grease or whatever her name is. I blame her for why our Big Brother is more boring now. I'm not saying there should be like any racial thing or anything like that, but they need to cast more scumbags in some way because they're more willing to backstab and do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, they go for safer casting now. People who
Yes.
aren't going to say controversial things, but I'm like, whatever, it's their reputation. Let them, like, I don't want them to say anything racist, but I want them to, but I don't want these like sort of like more polished, perfected people who are professional TV stars.
Nobody wants to listen to a hockey player break down the game tape like after the game because they all say the same thing. Oh, it's just a good opportunity, and I try my best.
Corners, got to work hard.
There, got to work hard, and then you work hard, you get success. That's like what we're watching right now with Big Brother. We're watching the media trained version of Big Brother, which is it's not very fun, right? Like it's not
Well,
fun.
that's the thing. I feel like we're watching like an all-star game almost, right? Like, and it's like, but they're just going through the motions.
Sure, but like it's not just like the all star players are good at the game. They are, but it's also like they kind of don't play a cutthroat way. Any of them, you know. Nicole plays like the hide and just sneak your way to the end game. Enzo plays the same way. Cody plays in a way where he just control the game through competitions and power and alliances. And then Christmas was the same way. She, competitions and alliances, just like those two things. Like as long as you stay within the good side of things, you'll be good. And that's like why those players all went deep.
But Christmas doesn't have the social game that Cody does.
She did a little bit. She had a good relationship with Memphis, and she was able to kind of hook up with Nicole as a potential final two as well.
I
So
think
she
she
does
hooked
have.
up more with Memphis though,
She did, but then Memphis got eliminated, so she had
and she
uh,
said,
at least she pivots. Like like she is a decent little player that Christmas, but she always seems to finish third or fourth.
"No, only fourth, probably fourth this time." As we saw this play, yeah. Okay, like I'm just trying to think, what's sort of like what's Cody's like? 'Cause I feel like Cody is running this game and will win it. If Nicole wins, and we will speculate about what a Nicole win is like here, but I don't think it's going to be Enzo. I don't see how Enzo wins this game right now.
I think the only way Enzo wins the game is if he sits beside Nicole,
And he only maybe wins. I think
and he only
Nicole
maybe
probably
wins.
wins.
I don't know. Like he might get like he might get like I don't know. Like let's just say he would get Cody, David, um, sorry, Christmas maybe. Like certain people would vote for Enzo over Nicole. Maybe Memphis. These type of players might vote for Enzo over Nicole.
I feel like Nicole can win this season. I think that against only against Enzo. But I think there was a clip today I saw or some quote where she said she's fine getting second place, that I think her and Cody have a pact here. I think almost, right, and he is destined to win this.
Yeah. I would love to see Enzo win the final HOH. That'd be great. Wouldn't that be the best case scenario right now? Because then he would have to choose between Cody and Nicole who to take it to the end.
Who does he take to the end?
He probably takes Cody, but
yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, because if he takes,
he seems like he wants to be loyal to that.
But if he takes Nicole, does he win?
Maybe. If he takes Cody, though, I think he almost certainly loses.
I don't think he has much of a prayer to win the final HOH because you saw tonight, like he was the first out of the hamster competition. He sucks at the days and the doing it quickly or whatever.
He knows the answers, which I think he knew some of those answers tonight.
Yeah.
I think that he's not going to be faster at it than others. He's just so the first competition is usually some kind of like long endurance competition, holding onto a rope or something like that in the HOH for the final week, which will be starting after tomorrow. And so this is my only chance to talk to you because I won't be here tomorrow to talk to you and Jimmy about this. So with that, I think Cody probably wins that part one of that final HOH because we assume Christmas will be going to jury next. And then I think between Nicole and Enzo, my money's on Nicole to win part two.
Yeah,
probably that wall. You get on that harness and you go up and down the wall and you gotta put things there based on the days.
I agree. I think Nicole will win part two. I think everyone says like Cody's definitely gonna win part one, but that's not necessarily true. Like Nicole might win part one.
Enzo could win the part one if it's something that somehow Enzo happens to be good at, or he's able to hold on. He's just gonna show sheer willpower. But to beat Cody, a guy who's half his age,
and have his size,
I just don't like. I don't like. Maybe Nicole wins. Maybe Nicole beats Cody, but I don't see Enzo winning either part of the HOH. And so it's ultimately going to come down to a true or false or an A or B challenge between Cody and Nicole. for how this is going to play out in terms of the final who and then so let's assume Nicole wins that. So Nicole takes Cody, we're saying, even though she knows she probably should take Enzo.
Even though you said, well, I think she might be happy with 50 grand in second place, and
And Cody
that,
won. Her friend
that
won.
her friend won, and she's already won, and right,
Right?
50 grand's pretty good too, and she just won $10,000, so that's 60 grand.
Yeah. For what? Because she picked. Oh, she picked Menfist. The Menfister. That's what Christmas maybe was.
Yeah, she comes second. That's 60 grand plus whatever her stipend was, which was probably pretty good, And so she's probably walking away with 70 or 80 grand,
Yeah. Right. But Mary, if Enzo wins, but Enzo won't win. That's what I think. I don't see how Enzo could be the final HOH because I don't see him winning either part of it. And so he might be in the final two if one of those take him. If either Cody or Nicole take him, but I don't think that that's likely. I think that they are going to take each other. I think even right now, Cody will be loyal to Nicole to the end. He will cut Enzo. Enzo is he just wants Enzo.
So why should Enzo take Cody to the end?
He shouldn't, but Enzo will, because I think deep down Enzo's a loyal guy but Cody I think is loyal to people he's truly loyal to, but the only person he's ever been loyal to in this game is Nicole. That's his only true loyalty. Everybody else, they're acquaintances to him. These are chuffa relationships. He will not talk to most of these people. I think after, Danny is still in love with him. Danny believes they're best friends and they're going to have this great relationship out of the house. Danny's never talked. Danny and Cody are not going to talk after this game.
Probably not. You're probably right. They might see each other at a party.
But Cody will be a guest of honor at Nicole's wedding, whereas Janelle and Queso will not be.
They should invite Janelle and Queso and just fix it up. Men relationships, be nice.
Yeah, just bring them to the wedding. Yeah, they can have a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queso maybe can bring some baklava, and then so that'd be good too.
A sickly sweet honey smell.
A sickly sweet honey smell, exactly. To tie it back in to original series.
Right. Yeah. So okay. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about the game though. I feel like that's how this is going to play out. Is that it's somehow Enzo is able to win.
To me, tonight's episode, when they were doing the BB comics for the $10,000 and how into it all four of them were.
Yeah, I was
okay. If you rated all four of them and intensity to win that thing, it's a great metaphor for actually how the strategy of the game is going. You got Cody all in, oh my god, right? Nicole's right there. She's really invested as well, right? And then the other two are kind of well, I hope we win, but whatever, yo, And Christmas is oh, nothing ever goes my way. Why did I pick Memphis?
She's pouty about things,
right? So it's a great metaphor for what was actually going on in the game as well for me.
Right. Yeah, I guess I was Cody in particular. I thought was too intense. Yeah, I thought Christmas got intense. I saw this different side of Cody. Yeah, maybe it's true. Maybe this is this whole thing tonight was a great metaphor for how these people are really feeling and acting in terms of their gameplay.
Laser room.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I just thought that the whole thing, because it was all predetermined, it was like pro wrestling, and I don't even understand why they did it. What was the point of Nicole getting $10,000? What for what? Because she picked a card? Why did this competition exist? There's no point. Wouldn't it just make more sense to give third place $10,000? Third place. Hey, if you make third place in this game, you're making $10,000.
Yeah, I guess they want to have an incentive for the person that could finish fourth place, But they don't just give it to the fourth place person. They should just probably give it to the fourth place
What's the
person.
incentive for them to like compete in this competition? They, of course, they are. They're going to.
Right, but they only have a 1 in 4 chance.
Is it for Christmas? And is this? Does this? But why not just give Christmas the money then? Because this is really because Christmas. Because
Right,
you're
didn't
dead
want
woman
to.
walking this week.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to just directly give it to Christmas.
Well, they didn't. They gave it to Nicole.
No, I know, but like I think they wanted something there for the final four that would be like an opportunity to win money. That's what I think.
Mary thinks they should have played like a real video game, and I'm with Mary on this because I think that
It would have just been a video game competition. Can you imagine like Jody was in the house? He would just destroy.
Yeah, like I think that there would have been something to watch. Like you would, but this was nothing. This was them to win that. Yeah, exactly. Like what was?
Can you imagine Enzo was just like so good as Street Fighter, and he just dominated like a Street Fighter version of the BB comics?
Nicole's good at randomly picking a card.
Yeah, it's a total crapshoot. I didn't like it either, Dave. I think you should have to earn money, not randomly win it.
Or make it entertaining to watch on TV. I feel like the producer came out and gave
I thought it was entertaining. Okay, I did. I actually thought it was fun how into it they were, but I think it could have been better.
Yeah, I was not so into it. Like it was like again, we get more of these weird. Was this the same comic book characters we had already?
Yes.
So this was a reuse. So we gotta squeeze some life out of this again. And they don't like who's what and who got what persona. They're always so obsessed with.
The Meow Meow's straight up creepy though. I gotta say
that Meow Meow, yeah, with he's like a weird cat man.
He's like, but he's so bony. He doesn't got any meat on him. He's got to eat some, fancy feast or something there. Meow Meow.
Yeah, where's his fancy? He needs more temptations. I think he needs his temptations.
Yeah, he needs his tempties. He needs to talk to Jaden.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, come on, like do something for this $10,000. Like maybe bring in the jury somehow to make this fun. I don't know. Like there's other ideas here.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you can watch your family video, or you can have an advantage or something, or get $10,000.
Yeah, they're not trying. They're not trying hard enough on this season. The production's really kind of like just trying to get through it. It's like the MLB, the NBA, the NFL. They're just trying to get through it. They don't even really want to be doing it. They're just trying to get through it so they can fulfill their.
Give us our TV revenue so we can get out of here.
That's right. And Big Brother's probably doing really well for TV revenue, which is probably good because we'll get more Big Brother and they won't cancel the show, which they probably weren't going to anyway.
Would you like the idea of a celebrity Big Brother again coming back?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
Yeah. Me either. Like they were supposed to be canceling it. Like it wasn't. They were I don't think they were planning to do a third, and then they're not now. But now maybe like
COVID version, right? I don't know. This election in like 13 days or whatever it is going to be. It's going to change the whole mood of America, and what they're going to do, what they're going to allow, and restrictions, and all that. I think I don't know. I just think we'll have to see how the dust settles for the Survivor still hasn't really been happening. Big Brother next year, it will happen. I bet for sure. But will there be fans? I mean, we don't know yet. So, I mean,
Big Brother's like the easiest COVID kind of game you can put on, as long as you know going. I think what Big Brother Canada 8 got derailed because they weren't prepared for that.
There's only one show that is the absolute 100% best show for COVID, and it's The Circle.
The Circle. Well, the Circle would make a lot of sense, of course, because you don't even talk to those. You only meet those people at the end, and they could figure out what.
And you could have a COVID test when you're in isolation anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So do another. I bet you Netflix is doing a bunch of more episodes of The Circle and seasons of The Circle.
Yeah.
That will come out, and I when that comes out, I do want to cover that. I don't know how it's usually those come out in like 5 episode blocks or whatever. So maybe we'll do like 5 episodes at a time or something.
He looks like he's got a nice toothbrush.
Yeah, like I would love to play the Circle. Like I feel like I don't think there's a Canadian version yet, but that's I think the game I would play even before Big Brother, given the choice. Um, or would you pick if you were given the choice, Jeff, to play Survivor, Big Brother, the Circle? You know, those are the three. Which one do you want to
Or
do?
Amazing Race. You could
Or
pick
the
Amazing.
Amazing Race. Let's throw the Amazing Race on the list.
I would choose Survivor or the Amazing Race.
Yeah, because just as an amazing opportunity. You're
Yeah.
an Amazing Race kind of guy. I can get that. You're like to travel, see places.
I would do Amazing Race. I would love that. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Survivor would be an amazing adventure too.
Yes, but Survivor is it's more of a TV show now. It's not as much of an adventure as it used to be. When they first started Survivor, it seemed like it was a real adventure. They went to Africa and Australia and all these different places.
Marquesas and all these places they used to go. Now it's more of like a professional.
Yeah, it's Fiji. You're going to Fiji.
You're going to Fiji.
Yeah, which is nice. I'd like to go to Fiji.
Live a few yards from the resort.
Yeah, but Fiji, I mean, you can't really beat that. I mean, South Pacific. I mean, that would be awesome.
Right. And I don't, because those shows are, I don't think when we'll see those come back, but I think we will see more Big Brother. I think a Celebrity Big Brother, and I think, definitely more Circle. And I think that the Circle is more interesting for me because I feel like you playing it more anonymously, but the fact that it's text chat, I think that that's something that would suit me better versus actually talking to people. Big Brother is a lot of like running around, and I would be paranoid, I think, all the time. In Big Brother.
Big Brother is a lot of waiting around, and I wouldn't want. I don't have the patience for that. I would much prefer Survivor because in Survivor it's like, you're done when you get voted out. Or Amazing Race, if you don't make the pit stop, then you're done, right? Like, so like there's a finality. Big Brother, there is finality, but you gotta wait a long time each time. It's annoying. Can you imagine being like David? Like on week 2, he knew he was like not gonna win the game. And he had to wait like 7 weeks or 8 weeks to get eliminated.
Would you rather, or do you? Yeah, I guess. And he just wanted to make it to jury, I guess. Oh yes, the Circle was. Yeah, the Circle was good, Mary. I'm with you. I haven't watched the Circle UK yet. I was trying to watch the Circle France with the subtitles. It wasn't working for me too well, so I had to. It wasn't quite my thing. But yeah, because I think they film all of the Circle in England is where they do it.
Yes,
and so I don't know why Canada hasn't gotten in on that yet.
They will. It kind of takes like 3 or 4 years, and then they figure it out. Right. They will. They'll just do it in Toronto or Montreal or something.
You can do it anywhere. It's just people in apartments.
Yep.
So you have to get the rights from the show. Right, like whoever owns the rights to that name and that brand is who is the Mark Burnett of the Circle. I'm not sure. Anyway, Big Brother 22, Jeff. We've kind of broken this episode down. We saw the Cody's win. We saw the hamster wheel. The fact that it came down again here between Cody and Nicole. Cody wins. That Christmas is a goner tomorrow. And this will, I think we'll start probably part 1 of the HOH tomorrow night, and then going into this final 3, what's the best case scenario for you?
I don't know. Don't really care who wins. For me, I kind of want to see Enzo get to the end, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
and
in the final 2.
This is from somebody who has Cody and Nicole in the draft.
You almost want the only person who could screw up your chances of winning first and second place in this draft, Jeff, cementing yourself as a Big Brother genius in terms of genius drafter. You're willing to throw that away just for some entertainment value and seeing Enzo go far. It's saying something.
I'm willing to throw down my drafting legacy, but I don't think I'm going to need it. I think it's going to be Cody Nicole anyway. And when that happens, I think I'm just gonna, I think I should just get the first pick, from now on because I'm so amazing. I got first.
I know you should get the last pick from now on just because of that. That's yeah, it's something, Jeff. I okay. Here's what I want. I want Enzo, preferably in the final two, because I think that's more interesting. Just to see how that plays out. I think the Cody Nicole final two is interesting, but I think Cody not interesting enough because Cody doesn't ultimately like he doesn't get enough of a challenge. I think from Nicole. I think Cody will win that almost handedly. He like Nicole might get 20% of the votes if they end up in the final two. Um, I just don't want Nicole to win though.
Yeah, well, Amanda's pulling for Nicole, Dave.
Why?
And Amanda may be a special guest tomorrow night on the podcast with Jameel to talk about breakdown and everything that she's feeling. She's going for Nicole. She thinks that she deserves it. She's the best player.
Why is she the best player? Why is okay? It's a good thing I won't be here because I'll just be enraged. I'll just be I'll be hulking out probably.
Yes. Well, she's girl power, and I think Nicole's proven that she's this game player. She wins competitions when she needs to, and she could very easily win one of probably the part 3 here of the HOH and decide who goes with her to the end. If she does that, I think she has a great case for winning the game.
I agree. I just don't want it to be true because I'm not a fan. I don't want Nicole to win. I just don't want her to win.
I don't think she wants her to win.
No, she wants Cody to win, but she'll win. Oh, she'll if she must, she'll beat Enzo.
Right. If Enzo takes her.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a part of her that would love it, but I just don't see her cutting Cody's throat.
There is a lot of talk on that Cody will take Enzo to the final 2 as well. So
will Cody cut Nicole's throat? Maybe higher chance than Nicole doing it to Cody, but I don't think he will ultimately. We'll see.
Not.
That's that's what you got to hold on to watch out. That's why we have to hold on for the end here, Jeff, because we have to see if Cody and Nicole will betray one another. Probably not, but if it does, how amazing would that be?
You never know.
I will say greatest season ever, especially if Nicole does it to Cody. I think just to see his devastation,
the stun in his face would be great.
Yeah. It'd just be like, congratulations,
Cody.
You're Cody again, 2-time runner-up. And then Julie Chen will say to him what she said to Paul. Oh, what was it? Never always a bridesmaid, never a bride, Paul, or whatever. And he was just minutes after he had lost to second place again.
Yeah,
second place. It's like, no, that was amazing.
He still made $100,000 in the 1 year.
Well, yeah, Paul did fine, but it's I'm not that sad for Paul. It was just how Julie Chen went a little at him right away after Josh beat him. Because they had lost to Paul earlier than that. Mary's just saying Enzo wins HOH, but he wouldn't do anything. But Cody, I'm with you. I think he will stay. He's going to want to sit next to his route to his final 2 at the end. I think that's what Cody thinks, that's what Enzo thinks is his best chance to win. It's not, but he's what he thinks is the case. And because he's been loyal to this final 2 with Cody, and that's what he'll say. He in his mind, it's almost like maybe it's like a Derek and Cody. He's the Derek, or Cody's the Derek, and I don't know how he thinks of it, but they're Jersey bros, and that's what Enzo thinks. And it's good for Cody. That's why Enzo has stuck around, because Cody recognizes that Enzo will be loyal to him to the end. And it's a good read on Cody's part. And that's why Enzo is not as good of a player. I think that's an empirical sort of.
I think Enzo's proven that he kind of is not a cutthroat player. He's a third place Big Brother player, third place Survivor player. He would do the same in Survivor too. He would finish third.
Because I think everyone would look at him as like, okay, well, we have to cut him near the end, but that won't be that hard to do.
Yeah, he just doesn't take control of the game, and he doesn't play hard. He's not that kind of player, and that's why Cody made sure to bring him and Nicole with him toward the end, because he didn't want people who were good at game players, like, and would go go against him or stab him in the back,
Right.
which was smart.
And Cody also made sure to cut people that were like loyal to Nicole and Enzo along the way, right?
Yeah.
Like these players that would help either one of them, because I
Mhm.
think this was always Cody's plan to go to the final three with these two. And he's like, okay, well, this is when we'll cut Danny, or this is when we'll cut Ian. Nicole won't like it, but and so that's the only thing that gives credit to this theory that Cody, I think, could cut Nicole's throat more easily. Would be willing to say, you're going to third place, Nicole, and I'm taking Enzo to the final two.
Right.
But I don't think even if Cody maybe is capable of doing such a thing, or it would be compelled to do such a thing, but I don't think he needs to do that, and I think Cody will probably recognize that he beats Nicole anyway.
I would think so. I mean, I would think Cody should be confident that if he gets to the final two, he should win, regardless
so
of
why
who
not bring his friend, right? Wouldn't you make that choice?
who's his friend.
Nicole's his friend.
Why is Enzo not his friend?
Enzo's not his friend.
Enzo's been his boy the whole game.
Yeah, but I don't think that they'll be friends after this.
All right. Well,
Maybe.
I won't be surprised if he takes Enzo. And Nicole's even okay with it.
Why would she be okay with it?
Well, she's already won, Dave. Like, and Enzo was like also a big part of how she got to final three too. And you get more money the further you get in the game, so she's still getting money.
Right. So that 10 grand she got tonight, that was her.
It might have
paid off by production.
Might have been. If Enzo and Cody are the final two, we'll know the fix was in.
Fix was in the root. The production knew it. That's why they gave her this hush money here on Wednesday, October 21st. Mark my words, Jeff. I'm calling this a conspiracy. We need an investigation.
Yes. We need an investigation.
An investigation against this atrocities. Yes. So I'm going to be looking into that. This is going to be some damn good investigative journalism here in the podcasting world. We're going to get to the bottom of this in the Big Brother house. All right. But we not right this minute. We'll get back to you on that. Right. So, and wait, comment here from Mary. Enzo isn't his friend like Nicole is. Nicole and Cody's parents are friends, and they've been friends. What? I didn't know this. I didn't know this. Did you know that Cody and Nicole's parents are friends?
No, I did not know this.
There you go. Then that's it, Jeff. That's why Cody will not.
All right, we'll see.
Betray Nicole. He will take Nicole over Enzo.
We will see.
For that reason.
We will see when it comes up.
Paulie Calafiore and Papa Calafiore and Pops Calafiore, R.I.P. They will not allow this. This would be against the name. The Frenzels are allies in the whatever. So anyway, to the Calafiore clan. And that's it. All right. So I think we should close the book on tonight's episode, Jeff. Because
I'm Califurious. So
you're Califurious. Are you Calicurious?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's pretty. I'm Cali bored.
Yes, they say that they talk on the phone often. Okay, well, we got that. There you go. The fix is in. There it is, right there.
Fix has been from the start. Derek
Why not
set
just
it all up.
Twins on this show?
Derek set it all up for Cody to win.
It's all been set up. This is all Derek's doing. Now.
Aliens are real.
Yep. So, Jeff, you and Jamil are going to break down the eviction of the presumptive Christmas tomorrow. You'll give the eulogy for Christmas. I'm kind of sad I'm missing that. But I have to be over on our other channel, Live Long and Podcast, to talk about Star Trek Discovery.
We're going to have to sing Silent Night.
Silent Night. Yeah, I think you need to... Damn, it's too bad I'm missing that.
But it's channels and hum the hymn Silent Night.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some comments in if I can, because I will watch it, but I just won't be able to be on the podcast. As we'll be doing the second episode of Star Trek Discovery tomorrow night for the third season, which is called Far From Home. So as they continue into the 32nd century on Star Trek Discovery, and our other channel, Live Long and Podcast, So, but just to talk about this channel, which is Super Mario Brothers Podcasting, Jeff and Jamil will be back tomorrow night to talk about that eviction, as mentioned, and we'll be back. Are we back Monday night for
Yeah,
the first part of and then Wednesday's the finale, right? So there's only
so
two
yes.
more episodes and then the finale.
Right.
Okay, so we think, right?
I think that's right. I think
Yeah.
that sounds right.
That sounds about right. Yeah, so I think I feel like that's all we need. I feel like that's when it will be done, or if it shouldn't be already, which it maybe should be. Yes, and so we'll be back, Thursday, Monday, and finally Wednesday to finish off this season. On Live Long and Podcast, or other channel I mentioned, tomorrow night I'll be on Star Trek Discovery. We're also this Sunday night we're going to be doing Star Trek Radio Theater. We're doing an episode of the original series where we reenact these scripts, and this one is called Plato's Stepchildren, where it's this planet of like philosopher kings. Like, it's kind of complicated, but anyway, they make Kirk and Spock and Uhura do some things they don't want to do through mind control and other things. So it's quite interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check that out. We also do Tuesday nights, we do Star Trek Deep Space Nine rewatches, and Wednesday nights we do Star Trek original series rewatches, which with our dad. So check out all that on Live Long and Podcast, and also our other channel, Super Trivial Debates, where we argue about movies, sports, TV, and more once a month. Our next episode will be, it looks like it's going to be on Halloween. I'm just trying to get that booked. So check all that out. And thanks, and make sure to subscribe and like and comment. We thank you. Thank you, Mary, for your for watching and commenting tonight. And we will check. Good luck tomorrow night, Jeff, over on.
Oh, we will. We'll
You're on Super Mario Brothers. I'll be over there.
Sing Christmas songs for Christmas.
Ah, Christmas Island night.
One cry.